Vols are back.
Yeah, they had us the first half, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, could be Wayne!
I think I got my swagger back. Oh!
I love it, baby!
Them orange britches. Something about them orange britches.
Tennessee wins! By Tennessee, Jawan Jennings. Jennings makes the catch.
Ball hit high in the air into right field. Going back is Sayre, and Tennessee can say hello, win column. A grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. You can't draw it up any better.
We just won a basketball game, and we're very happy right now. I made up my mind. I don't expect to ever look back. I'm going to stay at the University of Tennessee.
Read it to do and welcome into More Important Issues. It is Sunday, August 28th. It is game week. We have finally made it. I guess it depends on when you start your week. Sunday for this week, we'll say Sunday. It has been a long time waiting. It feels like these last few weeks creeped up pretty quick, but it feels like it's been years since I've watched football. This weekend was a nice ease into it. You got pretty good game, an obscure game with the absurdity that is college football. So it had everything. It even had a late night Hawaii game. I would have rather watched Vanderbilt lose, but it is what it is.
It's a hoax. That's what that game was.
Oh, we're calling it right now.
Or this just weekend was. The first game is in Dublin.
That was real. I don't So what was is it a Big Ten thing? Did Notre Dame play a Big Ten team when they played over there? I can't remember.
I don't remember either.
I don't get it.
I don't know. I don't know if it has anything to do with anything.
I mean, you couldn't have sent two better teams over there, Nebraska, Northwestern. I would never watch that game unless it was on the first weekend of college football when there's not many games, or it's in Dublin. And you combine those into two, so you got me. I'm in.
Smart. So, yeah, that was all the Big Ten. Just they knew no one else in the country was going to watch these two teams unless it was the only way people could watch football.
Exactly. And free beer. I know that, wasn't the plan, but it worked out for them. Internet goes down. So do they just not take cash at all? Because that seems – hey, listen, shout out to Ireland. Shout out to the Irish. But it seems like a weird solution to that problem.
They got plenty.
That's their point.
Did they just throw some tip jars out there just hoping they'd get a little bit back? Did some people put in a 20 and just be like, hey, I'm going to keep coming back?
I think they ran out of beer, didn't they?
Oh, did they?
I think I read that. The Cup Snakes were pretty awesome. It felt like a genuine college weekend, except for outside of us. It's funny to hear the people talk about how they watch college football and they don't leave their couch. Normally, a college football Saturday for me will be wake up usually about, depending on how early the game is, like 7:30, shower, get ready while EPL's on, try to get tailgate set up by the time game day's on. If it's an away game now, yeah, I'm sitting on my couch for most of the day, but that's a pretty rare experience that I get to watch college football literally all day Saturday. I pulled out the tailgate tripod and watched football. So I had two games going in the living room. It was awesome. Emily looked at me like I was crazy, but she was okay with it. So
yeah, you had a nice little setup.
It was good. Well,
I just had a good time yesterday.
Yeah,
it was fun just betting on sports that I can actually do pretty well at. So
I overbet yesterday. I don't know about you.
I always overbet, but it worked out yesterday.
I can usually rein it in. I think it's just that I had a few things to do around the house, but other than that, I had nothing to do. I just sat on the couch all day pretty much. And commercial breaks, half times, I'd get up and do dishes or, whatever I needed to. But other than that, that was it.
Yep.
So
a lot of fun. Let's get into it real quick. When do we want to announce the winner, I guess?
Okay, let's do this. Hey, listen, this is the reason we do it is we need you guys to retweet it. I mean, that's not a lie. So we're going to talk about Bru McCoy, and actually, let's promote this too. So we're going to talk about it right after we talk about Bru McCoy. So if we want to tweet it out, that we're about to announce the winner. Of course, we'll tweet it out and all that good stuff. But also, I don't know if we've decided on a day when we're going to do these Twitter spaces, but me and Landon just have so much fun where we get to talk with you all and just do those on I think we've done them on Friday night each time we've done them. No, we did one Thursday night, and it's so much fun. So we're going to keep doing that. That's going to be something that happens throughout the football season. We'll pick a day and try to be consistent on that day. But they're a ton of fun. So we appreciate you guys hopping into those. So we talked a little bit about Brew McCoy. Do you kind of have any, obviously probably want to reiterate it because a lot of people didn't get to hear it. But, what are your kind of overall thoughts other than, great, we get a guy that looks like a legit dude, verified dude?
Yeah, 6'3", kind of about the same body type as Cedric Tillman, but he runs a 4.40. The kid can fly. There's a reason why he was a 5-star recruit. Yeah, it hadn't worked out at USC, and he needed a fresh start. I don't know why USC just didn't want him to have that, but whatever. The NCAA got involved, and for some reason it didn't take too long. And he gets a full week of game prep knowing he's going to play. I think that's huge.
For sure, and kind of going back, I don't want to necessarily harp on it because it's over and done with. Thankfully, he's eligible, but USC acting kind of like, and some people defending them, Vols Dix, was saying how this was just the situation was a little weird, but there was nothing to say. My question was the whole time, if he was at USC, would he be eligible for football? Not would they want him on the team, not that. That's not my question. Would he be eligible for football? And if the answer is yes, you sign the paper, no questions asked. And that seems to be the case.
They could have reinstated him. He wasn't reinstated because he was already in the transfer portal.
Well, I'm just saying, again, they may not have. It may have been one of those things with everything going on off the field issues, all this. We're just not a fit. We're moving on. So it's not whether you wanted him. It's not whether you felt like he shouldn't have been enrolled in school. The question is, would he be academically eligible otherwise to play football at USC? And if the answer is yes, you sign the paper, and that's it.
Yep.
And they didn't do it. So, yeah, I hate USC. If the NCAA is being kind of more understanding of the situation, you're an asshole.
Yeah, and it just keeps going back to the fact that they handpicked their transfers that they wanted. Travis Dye was Oregon's best player. You get Jordan Addison from Pitt. So the fact that they just kind of loaded up on transfers and refused to just kind of sign a paper to let a kid play at another school that they're never going to play, I just don't get it.
Yeah, very dumb. It's good to see you mentioned getting Brew McCoy back for an entire week of game prep because there's probably been some stuff in fall camp. Not probably. There's been some stuff in fall camp in terms of getting ready for week one, getting ready. Not even probably specifically to Ball State, but you've been putting stuff in preps for that first game, whether it be specifically for another team. And then, some other stuff that you've probably seen on film throughout the offseason for Pitt, for Florida, those early games especially. To get him back now and, like you said, have an actual full game, that's going to be huge. I don't know. I wonder if they were sweating it too much, if that was a split rep thing as far as who's going to be the starter and maybe think. So I don't know. I guess that's kind of what I wonder. I don't know if things will change, but it's definitely good, like you said, to get that full week of game prep. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think much will change.
Alex Golesh just kind of talked and they've kind of just approach it that he's going to play.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get into actual game week prep, I feel like you have to kind of cut back those reps and give them to somebody who's going to be able to play. But they didn't have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they might have did it Friday. I don't know when they actually started game week prep. I guess they could have started it whenever they wanted. But actual game week would probably start this weekend, I would assume. So
right.
Brew McCoy should have a full week of game prep, ready to go. And, dude, anytime touchdown, I'm taking that bet.
Somebody tweeted that. I don't know who it was, so shout out to them. I don't know if you had that in mind before, but I like it. Where can you take that bet on? I don't know what books have. I think DraftKings. I've never done player props in NCAA, I don't think.
Oh, I don't know if that's real. Okay. I don't know if you can actually do it. But if so, I'll take it.
Fair enough. I'm getting pumped. I'm getting pumped for was that the guy that tweeted back at me? Was he actually the guy that was at College Game Day? Because that's hilarious if so. Or if he is he just in on the joke.
I don't know.
Okay.
I hope so.
Yeah, I do too.
If not, that's not. If not, maybe it's even funnier that he tweeted that.
He's just kind of he's robbing the joke, like Dylan Taylor responded.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly what it said, but something along the lines of verifying that the Heisman sign was taken. So yeah, I'm getting in full orange goggles. Like I saw WNML, I think, tweeted, what's your prediction for the final record? And it started at 10-2, and I almost replied, why can it not be 12-0? Just like, it's game week, baby. Why can it not be?
One thing before we move on from Brew McCoy, I think, we're talking about 4 days away, and that makes us all think about Cedric Tillman being number 4. I think having Brew McCoy on the outside benefits Cedric Tillman probably more than anybody on this team.
For sure. I mean, allowing teams not to, and I mean, obviously it relies a lot on Brew McCoy living up to the hype, but allowing teams not to just go to Cedric Tillman and defend that side. Yeah. It's huge for Hendon Hooker. It's going to be huge for Cedric Tillman. Going to give him the ability to get in more in one-on-one matchups where he will destroy just about any defensive back in the SEC.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Can't wait for that. And, Brew McCoy has had a tough go. He set out all of 2019 with the illness. Didn't play last year due to, his arrest and being suspended. So, he's been within a college program for 3 years, but he's only played, I think, 2020. And he hasn't played a full season yet to this point. Because 2020 was the only time I think they only played like 7 games or something like that. And he was productive in all those. The last game he played in was the Pac-12 championship against Oregon. He had a touchdown, I think, like 88 yards or something. So there is a little bit of production, but that made me feel better. Just kind of learning that he had. When you look at his stats, you're like 21 catches for 200 yards. This guy, what's he going to bring?
Right, but it's in a shortened COVID year,
right?
So, where the Pac-12 said they weren't going to play, and then they did. So
yeah, they really care about their student athletes,
for sure. Yeah. All right, well, before we move on in our outline, I guess, and getting on to our next topic, we are going to do our ticket giveaway. So
I went ahead and tweeted. So
you went ahead and tweeted it.
I said, and the winner of the giveaway is.
Oh, nice. Oh, okay. I thought, okay, cool. Well,
yeah.
So Landon's about to announce it. 24 hours we'll give you. So what time is it right now? 8:17 tomorrow before we move on to our next. So we want to make sure these tickets get to somebody. The idea is to get somebody in there. Anybody that retweeted, followed on Instagram or Twitter, we really, really appreciate it. Going to the game. Really hope you enjoy it. Come say hey if you're I can't remember the exact section, so don't ask me off the top of my head. Land on the DM you. We'll just need your email and stuff so we can get those tickets sent over to you. So we appreciate it.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Yeah, the winner is longtime follower, I think longtime listener too, Kevin Hutcherson. So at Hutcherson, yeah. YA. I think.
I thought you were just stopping when I started clapping. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Woo.
Congrats, Kevin. Yes, longtime follower. Enjoy interacting with him on Twitter. So it's cool to go to somebody that we talk about it. We know.
Yeah. Also, the only thing we ask in return is you take a picture in the seat.
That's it. Take a picture.
Yep.
And say thanks, guys.
So hopefully you're able to go on Thursday. If you needed tickets, hey, your prayers have been answered.
Yes, for sure. We got a couple Go Vols in here. Go Vols. 10-2. We're at worst 9-3. Holy crap. I would be very excited. I don't know, when I hear it out loud, when I hear myself say it, it sounds absurd. So it's going to be an interesting year for sure. So we're getting into season predictions. We've already got some in here. Drop them on Twitter. I've got some from Facebook, from Sonny, Coda. Appreciate you guys. We talked about this on the space. I really, with getting Brew McCoy in it, it's assuming all your wide receivers stay healthy. It's assuming he kind of lives up to the hype. Kind of buying into Jalen Hyatt's improvement. Hoping the defense is not only deeper, but also stays healthy as well. I really really want to pick out 9-3, and here's the main reason. I'll tell you why. I really want to pick out 9-3. I think Tennessee wins every single game in the East besides Georgia.
Okay.
And then
Like
I
they
think
should.
Pitt, yes, like they should. And then I think Hendon Hooker being the starter going into Pitt makes that a win. Defense is going to be stronger this year. Pitt loses Kenny Pickett. Caden Slovis may be a good quarterback, but it's not just that Kenny Pickett was a good quarterback that won Pitt that game last year. It's that Kenny Pickett was an improviser that won Pitt that game last year. I don't think Caden Slovis is the improviser he is.
Also, that was a first down.
And yes, the drive should still be alive right now.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. So you're going 9-3. Do you want to go game by game? Do you just want to?
We can do that. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, we can definitely do that.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Ball State.
I'm sorry about this upset loss. Just kidding. If that happens. Also, did you see my tweet about the time that I thought we'd score?
We're done.
Yes.
What?
I tweeted like at 8 or 7:09 p.m. Hendon Hooker throws a 33-yard touchdown to Cedric Tillman. If that happens, someone has to buy me drinks, whatever the amount I said.
Oh, plural.
Yes, that'd be like time traveling. But yeah, Ball State win for sure.
Okay. Yeah, I'm on same thing. You ought to win this game. And can we not have like a, half where it's kind of close to halftime? That would be good for my health.
I might leave if it is. Just go ahead and go home. Even if we win, just go ahead and go home.
Yeah, that Bowling Green game last year was just like, what is happening? Then we got Pitt. I think this is a huge game and could really I think if you win this game, you go 9-3.
Yeah. Yes. I think the next week's or the 2 weeks later is, in my opinion, the most important. I think that game, not because of talent, because I think Kentucky's going to be more talented than them. I think that's your toughest game in the East besides Georgia.
Okay.
But, I mean, yeah, Pitt's obviously important to go 9-3. Yeah. But for all the reasons I just listed off, I think it's a win. I think it's I think Tennessee wins by 2 scores. So, is it 9, 10? I think Tennessee wins fairly comfortably at the end of the fourth.
Against Pitt.
Okay.
I'm people probably are going to leave. I'm sounding like a negaval, but I think this could be a year where Tennessee loses one that they shouldn't.
Well, there's always one, and that's kind of where you get into the how do I choose 8 and 4 kind of deal.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go Pitt's a loss. It's at Pitt. I just think you don't really know what they have offensively, and they do have a lot coming back defensively. Pat Narduzzi is great. Timing up some blitzes on third down. So I think that's gonna be difficult for a left tackle in their first kind of big game.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm gonna. It's close, and I think Tennessee. I want to pick Tennessee to win that game, but I think if you do slip up once, it'll be against Pitt.
And this is probably going to be an unpopular take for all the I cheer for the SEC crowd. I'd rather lose if it meant beating Florida and Kentucky, and obviously South Carolina, Missouri, and Vanderbilt too. But the 2 games that you're talking about, swing games, or Tennessee's not going to be favored in, they're going to be the underdog. I'd rather lose to Pitt if that means I win every other game in the East besides Georgia.
And that might be why I'm picking this game.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, when you look at wanting to kind of progress in the SEC and where you want to be against those guys, in the grand scheme of farthering your program, and in 3 years, you're not going to talk about beating Pitt or losing to Pitt. But you may be talking about a 3-game win streak over Florida or Kentucky or South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And, that would have to start this year.
Yep.
So, yeah, 8 and 4 with.
Also, Kenny Pickett's still, he plays at Heinz Field now. So that makes me a little weary about picking.
Do you think he shows up? The good news is they couldn't slip the Slovis jersey. We'd see the glove.
That's true. Yeah.
So
tiny hands. Let's measure the hands before the game.
Perfect. I will. So this one. So. Are you more mad with the loss to, say, Pitt, or flip-flop Pitt and Kentucky? flip flop Pitt and Florida, one of the two. Like which
I,
one?
I would rather lose to Pitt than either one of those teams.
Okay, yeah. And I think for this
I
conversation,
think that's a good loss. But I mean, look, they're in the top 25. They're expecting to be a good team.
right.
You know, the loss to Kenny Pickett and Jordan Addison, it's a fair argument. The defense is back. You know, they've got some transfers in there. I mean, we'll see. I think they'll be just fine in the ACC because I think the ACC is trash.
Right.
But yeah, I think they're a good team still.
Yeah, I would agree. But
If it was at home,
Tennessee-
if they flipped it
Tennessee-
and this one was at home, I'd feel a lot better about it.
if this one was at home, and we'll get to this one here in a few weeks too, I would bet a lot of money on Tennessee doesn't lose if this is a home game.
Agreed. Akron. 7
You know, the
o'clock.
MAC
I'm
scares
excited
me.
for that. 7 o'clock.
It'll be fun, won't it?
That's going to be the first big tailgate of the year. So come on by. We'll be set up somewhere. If
Somewhere.
not our normal spot, we'll be somewhere a little bit closer. So we'll see. Still kind of working that out.
But yeah, Akron Dubs 7 p.m. Dubs.
Dubs all around. Akron sucks. Florida. Florida sucks.
I'm glad this one's a home game because it's a weird year. If this is like Pitt, if Tennessee went on the road, I would have a much harder time picking Tennessee over Florida on the road than Tennessee over Pitt. It feels better being at home. Tennessee should be more talented, but the fact of the matter is Tennessee has struggled with Florida in recent history. Even when they probably should have beat them, even when they probably should be better than them, they've struggled. This is a game that if Tennessee wins, it's going to go one of two ways. They're going to get out to a quick lead and never look back, or it is going to be one that there's not going to be like it was a good game until the fourth quarter, Tennessee wins. If it's that, Florida wins, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Tennessee's either going to do something stupid at the end to win it, like I don't know, 60-yard field goal, like something ridiculously stupid, or a Hail Mary bomb like against Georgia in 16, or run away with it and never look back. If we're going into the fourth quarter down by 7, up by 3, we're losing. Just unless again something miraculous that will never happen again. So I guess the Hail Mary's out.
The battered ball syndrome is kicked in.
It's just that those tight games against Florida. I mean, we couldn't win a game where Florida only scored 10 points in Neyland.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna go win. You're more talented than Florida. You have a better quarterback than Florida. I think you have better pass rushers. And when you know those two important positions, I think you should win that game.
You should. Yeah, you should. You should. And again, I know Kentucky's very talented, but going back to that point, you should win every game in the East but Georgia. When you just, in my opinion, as a Tennessee fan, when you look at the landscape of what.
Also,
the matchup
if
looks
we
like.
do lose to Florida, I'm blaming it on all their coaching depth that they have.
Yeah, I think we need to investigate that. That doesn't seem legal.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
let's
What are all those people getting paid? They
correct.
volunteers? Because come on.
Yeah, for sure. All right, the big one. So it goes Florida. I don't have the schedule pulled up. Is that the bye week?
LSU.
So
Yeah, bye week and then
bye week.
LSU,
Yes. Okay.
yes.
Just want to make sure. So bye week. That'll be fun. ETSU versus UTC. Go Bucks. LSU. So do you want to answer? Do we want to kind of answer that question before we
Yeah, that's a good idea.
before we get to it?
Let me get to that real quick. We have from Tennessee Dad at VFL Pilgrim said just read LSU O-line has true freshman at left tackle, a center who has never played the position, 2 transfers from Florida International and ETSU, and an unproven guard tackle. Does this make you feel better about the game? Absolutely. As soon as I read that, I was like, I'm going to do a little bit more research on that. And yeah, it's true. I mean, they got a 5-star that's probably going to be their left tackle. So, I mean, having a true freshman play offensive line, I mean, that's always worrisome no matter, what their ranking is in recruiting.
Mhm.
It's a lot to play in this league.
It's going to make me, I'll tell you this, 4 games in, 5 games, I don't know what LSU schedule looks like, could be Could be very different than week 1. What that makes me do, though, is really look at the FSU game that they play next Friday or next Saturday, Sunday, Monday, whenever they play. They don't play on Saturday, I don't think.
It's Sunday.
Sunday.
On
Okay.
Sunday. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. So, I know those 2 transfers. The guy at ETSU was I think, an All-American at ETSU, and the guy from FIU was a freshman All-American last season. So I think they have some talent there, but it's definitely unproven, and their quarterback, frankly, just doesn't scare me. So LSU, dub. We're going there. We're getting a dub in Baton Rouge.
Didn't you say 8-4?
Mark it.
Mark 8-4 or mark a dub in Baton Rouge?
Mark a dub in Baton Rouge.
Okay, so we'll get to your record later. I may have misheard you earlier. I'm interested to see where this goes. You're scaring me. I can't say win in Baton Rouge right now. I can't. It's probably going to be a night game. Doesn't bode well for Tennessee.
I don't think it will be a night game.
You don't think it will be?
I think A&M and Alabama will.
That'll be the 3:30 CBS game.
You think?
Yeah, 100%.
It was a night game last year, though. I feel like they just repeated.
Who was the same? Who had that game? It was also in College Station.
I don't know who it was.
I don't either.
I feel like it was on ESPN, was it not?
It was a late game. I think it was like an 8 p.m. kickoff in Eastern time. I'll have to look at that week. I know Tennessee played South Carolina that week, 4 p.m. on ESPN. Or was it a noon game? It was in the day, whatever. I don't know who had that. But come on, the Jimbo drama, number 1 recruiting class, they're playing at 3:30.
I don't know. I'm interested to see kind of how that – like, I don't understand why CBS gets dibs.
They own the rights. I mean, they're about to lose them, but they own them right now.
So can we just like, hey, since you're leaving, you go do another Big Ten team?
I don't know. I'll take their millions of dollars right now before they go spend billions on
I guess
God knows what product. No, I think it'll be A&M and LSU, or A&M and Alabama though. But yeah, it could be. If it's not, that makes me feel a little bit better. Not as, I guess, as a rowdy environment. I don't know, man. If you go and beat Pitt on the road, which I know is not the same environment as Death Valley, I do feel a lot better. But right now, knowing what I know, I can't. What was Tennessee's big road win last year? Kentucky?
Yeah.
I never heard anyone talk about Kroger Field.
Here's the thing. Tennessee put up 45 points after a bye week last year. Can they do the same this year? If they score 45 points against LSU,
You win.
they're winning that ball game.
Yeah. If you can guarantee me 45 points, I'll say win.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
But right now, I've got to go loss.
All right. That left tackle's going to be he's going to have a rude awakening when Byron Young lines up across from him. So,
Do not click on that link, anybody, that someone just posted in the Facebook comments. We'll delete it later. Don't click on it.
I can delete it now if you want me
Oh,
to.
can you? Okay. Yeah. I hate those bots. Like they comment on the high school streams. Okay. LSU, then Alabama. Or not Alabama. Yeah. Third Saturday? Yeah, Alabama. Let me how can you talk me into this? You almost got me to the LSU win. Let me
let's keep talking about it and get you there.
Like let me get you, try to get me anywhere close to a win against Nick Saban in Neyland Stadium.
I don't know if I can do a live.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We'll just delete it later. Just don't, if you're on Facebook, don't click on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man. Here's the thing. Bryce Young won the Heisman last year. Can he duplicate it? He doesn't have Mechie and Jameson Williams to throw to anymore.
You're calling a Heisman but whoever's
I still think he's gonna be good.
Call a Heisman hangover?
Maybe. Does Will Anderson have 42 tackles for a loss again?
Yeah, probably.
How do you not just put 3 people on that guy? I mean, he would be chipped every single time. Yeah, I would chip his ass every single time. or cut him.
I would do everything in my power to anything. Just give whatever. We're gonna try it. There's not a single play that week on my play sheet that he's not being shaded to. Where he's not being chipped. He's no one-on-ones ever against Will Anderson. No.
Right.
I'll leave a guy open on the opposite side before he goes one-on-one with someone.
Yeah, get it out quick.
Yeah. Bad news. You can't. I lied. You can't talk me into this one.
It's in Neyland. You know that crowd. I mean, we always go into these games thinking like, "Hey, man, this is the one. I'm gonna have the cigar ready, just in case."
Saturday morning, ask me.
Okay.
Saturday morning of that Alabama game, you ask me, and we'll talk.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I just think they're too talented. I think Tennessee has some depth issues. I don't think they're just fantastic on defense, so I think it's gonna be hard for us to really stop Bryce Young and Jahmyr Gibbs and Jermaine Burton. All those guys. So.
And if you feel you need to hit us with the Negavol stuff, hey, we know why you play the game, but.
Did somebody do that?
No, you just need. There's always one. Remember when someone complained about because we picked Georgia to beat Tennessee in 2019, I think.
Yeah.
2020. I don't remember what year it was. Whatever year we got destroyed.
Yeah.
By Georgia.
If you're in the chat, let us know what your record prediction is. As we
record prediction, or you can drop some wins and losses with us as we go through these. However you want to do it.
The losses. UT Martin, I think that's homecoming.
That is
dub.
Eating them. I can't do how does he cross his fingers?
You can't cross.
I can't just I have to.
Yeah, short little fingers.
Stubby.
Kentucky at Neyland.
I'm interested because you scared me because you told me 8-4 before we did this, and if you beat Florida and you beat LSU, that means you're losing to Kentucky. I think Tennessee doesn't lose to them for the reasons you always say. That's why you're weirding me out here. You don't lose Kentucky and Neyland. Will Levis couldn't beat you last year. I think you're going to be stronger in run defense. So Chris Rodriguez Jr. is going to be impactful, but how can he be any more impactful than last year?
Well, how long is that suspension too?
Oh, is he a part of that?
You got that Dewey?
Oh, well, TJ Finley ran from the cops and he's starting.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
I've full disclosure, I haven't read up, so I have no idea what happened. I just can't imagine running from the cops doesn't get you at least one game.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, I just don't see a way. If you're picking it today, I don't know how you pick Kentucky. Again, that's not to say Kentucky can't win it, guys. Don't misunderstand me. I just think picking today with what we know, kind of going back into our Heisman talks last week, I feel like Tennessee's the favorite.
Yeah, because I feel like Tennessee only got better from last year.
Right.
You scored 42 points against them, and you still didn't win. I think Kentucky, if they score 42 points on somebody last year, they beat them probably 99 times out of 100.
Yeah.
You don't have Wan'Dale Robinson anymore. I don't think their defense necessarily got a lot better, and I think ours did. At least I'm hanging on to hope that they did.
You can't argue they got worse right now.
Right. 100%.
You can't. And then that weird tweet about Kentucky. What was it? It didn't make any sense. I screenshot it and sent it to you because I was like, "What the f does this mean?"
Oh yeah.
May have deleted. Oh yeah, congrats! You beat a team that forgot how to play defense by 3 points. So can you just claim that whenever you score more than when the other team scores more than you?
Yeah,
they forgot how to play defense that night. So Tennessee, could we technically just claim that? Congratulations, you scored 42 points on us. We just forgot how to play defense.
I mean, did we not do the same thing?
Yeah, I don't. Kentucky fans are the worst people on planet Earth. I'll say it. Worse than Alabama fans, and I hate Alabama fans.
Also, I mean, your quarterback gave us a touchdown. So
why are you blaming that on your defense?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Kentucky fans suck. They're terrible.
Yeah,
Sorry,
agreed.
sorry if you're a Kentucky fan.
It is what it is. You chose it. Georgia.
So you're saying win at Kentucky?
Yeah, you don't. You don't lose the.
So you've got us at
Kentucky and
one. You got us at one loss right now. Am I 2 losses? Sorry, you got us at 2 losses too, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I've got us at 2, but not the 2 the same. Okay. Georgia. I just don't know how you win this game this year, even with Georgia being quote unquote down.
Yeah, they're too good at the line of scrimmage for me to pick a win. I think they take a step back. I don't think they're. I think that team last year was
special. When you take a step back from having one of the greatest defenses in college football history. That doesn't mean you're gonna be bad.
I still think they'll have a pretty good defense. You know, Jalen Carter, but losing to Kobe Dean and some of those other guys that were really good, Scene and some guys in the back end. And then you lose Jermaine Burton is transferred to Alabama. You lose James Cook, Zamir White. I mean, that was your kind of workhorses in the backfield. I just think with Stetson Bennett is still not a quarterback that scares me. He is efficient. I get it. But I think he's a damn good game manager.
Right. I think this game, I think LSU and Georgia are both very winnable. I'll say that. So away games are somehow in my mind winnable. And that could change the week of the Georgia game when that's late in the season. That's after a bad stretch, getting towards the end of a tough stretch. Could be injuries. That could very well change. I just think with what we know right now, I think it's one that Tennessee could highlight and go, hey, like if we're kind of ready for this week, if we're doing the right things, there's some things we could exploit that. Especially, I think it's more, I should say this. I think Tennessee, maybe winnable is not the right word. I think Tennessee has the ability to score quite a few points this year against Georgia. Yeah.
So you got 3 losses, right?
I'm at 3 right now. You're at 3?
Okay.
And then we've got
Missouri.
Is that Missouri? Yeah. Missouri.
Dub.
How do you can't.
They're a trash can.
Did we miss South Carolina? Are they?
No, they're after Missouri.
They're after Missouri? Because Missouri's homecoming, isn't it? Or senior night, isn't it?
Yeah, we have 2 away games. Or the last 2. Yeah.
Okay. Dub.
Yeah, Missouri, I just don't even know what they got. I know they got a really good running back from South Louisville, Go Keys, but other than that, Basilak's not the quarterback anymore.
It's a transfer, isn't it? Starting?
Is it?
I think so. I can't. Don't quote me on that. I believe it is.
Just take a look.
Yeah, too many questions for me to ever. Tennessee should win that game. You're really scaring me, Landon. South Carolina. Tell me what you got.
So Brady Cook. Where's Brady Cook at?
I can't remember. Brady Cook. Give me a conference if you find it. You don't have it yet?
Was he not there?
He may have been. I just thought they had named a. Okay. It doesn't have him from any other school. Yeah.
Okay.
I thought he had transferred in, though.
Yeah, I think that he was a starter when they got hurt. When Basilak got hurt.
Gotcha. Okay.
So. Yeah, they're just not good. Sorry. South Carolina.
Win. Quiet me with this Beamer ball crap. I just don't understand what we're buying with Beamer. I don't get it. And it's not just South Carolina fans. That's not what I'm trying to get.
He's a good speaker. I'll give him that.
He's an okay speaker. Just like his football coaching is just dreadfully average.
Yeah, I'll always go like when people say like, "Oh, Shane Beamer's a really good coach." Dude, he tried a halfback pass on like the 2
No.
yard line against Tennessee.
The
There's
defense,
a
they threw it
tight
to a
end.
defensive lineman, right?
Yeah.
There was a
Yes.
defensive lineman that was lined up at tight end involved.
Yeah, it was just really
bad.
dumb.
It was bad. With Spencer, I think Spencer Rattler makes the year more interesting for South Carolina. Their season could be very fun. I'm sorry, but he's got to last a full season when he gets Tennessee, when they play Tennessee.
Yep, with the defensive end. Yep. They're
I
on
just
the
don't
1
see-
yard line.
Yeah, it was bad. Just hand the ball to that defensive end for Christ's sake. Like that, try that first. I'm all about heavy packages. Yeah, dude. I mean, maybe Spencer Rattler. I think a lot of people are going to be really happy with him if he comes out and has like 3 games. First off, who is going to keep him off the ground? That's my biggest question.
Yeah, their line's pretty.
And the defensive
Goodness.
line is their defensive linemen, especially the edge rushers, are not the same as he saw and week in and week out at the Big 12.
No, 100%.
So, yeah, he may play pretty good. Game 1, game 2, well, game 5, and game 6 are my biggest questions.
Well, and
Beyond
I like playing South Carolina with Spencer Rattler this late in the season because he's going to take a beating, and he's a head case. So they lose some ball games. Does he just explode?
Oh, that's why I think Tennessee may not see him.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think it's possible Tennessee may not see him.
So we both got South Carolina as a win, and then we
Yeah.
got Vandy, who is by default the best team in the country right now.
Are they? Is it not Northwestern?
63-10.
To Hawaii, who had like 50 transfers.
I couldn't believe the score. I watched
yeah.
those first 2 drives, and I was like, yeah, they suck.
They do, but they do. That's the thing.
I think Mike Wright is good.
They've got a game.
Here's the thing.
They've got a gamer.
Thank you, Clark Lee, for finally pointing out that, hey, we're not going to be able to beat these teams with just a regular quarterback. Let's get somebody who can run and make things difficult. That's your only way you win a game you shouldn't, is with a running quarterback.
Right.
But I wanted to pick against Vanderbilt. I really did. I just think at the end of the day, they still have somewhat of an SEC roster.
Well, I didn't look and see how bad Hawaii is, but you say that, and they got beat by an FCS team last year. So don't forget that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you're right. But
A
again,
good
they did
FCS
it.
team, but still an FCS team.
Right. They got beat pretty bad too.
I don't think. I mean, it wasn't that bad. It was. I mean, I think it was 2 defensive touchdowns that ETSU had.
Right.
it
But it was
was
like the score was like 28-3 or 21-3.
I think it was 21-3 with 2 defensive touchdowns, something like that. I'll look it up.
Well, it looks
Yeah.
bad.
I've got it as a
Only scoring 3 points on an FCS
for sure.
team is
well, technically 17. They just wrong end zone.
yeah.
Yeah.
Went the wrong way. I get it. You think they'd be smart enough to go the other way? Going to
23-3.
Hmm.
Yeah. It's bad. Yeah,
Hawaii
only
might be
one
the
touchdown
worst.
for
Hawaii
ETSU
might be the
offense.
worst team of all time.
I would argue whoever has Scott Frost as their head coach.
All right, so win. Before we get into that, that's a win. So 9-3.
You just said 9-3. Yeah, you just did 9. Said 8-4 before that.
So did you say 8-4? Or did you?
I said 9-3.
Okay, I was gonna go 8-4, but I talked myself into LSU.
I like that. Yeah, I respect that.
Also, I don't want to go down there and lose. That's gonna be rough. But we're going. We have to do it.
Oh, I mean, we'll be there. Happy, sad, somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. Also, I got a couple more kind of predictions, like stat wise. I think Tennessee has 2 wide receivers go over 1,000 yards.
Do you have Cedric, or you maybe?
I
Brewer
think
or
it's
Jalen?
it's Cedric. I think it could be Brew or Jalen. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm really interested. I hope. I really hope the kind of year we expect, and I think it should kind of be. The word's not easier. It's not the right word, but I don't know. Like I don't know what the right word. McCoy being there, it's not. He doesn't have to just completely fill the role of Bayless.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because there's a second or a third target besides Cedric. So I hope that makes things easier transition for Jalen Hyatt.
Mm-hmm. Also, kind of want to see them kind of mix it up a little bit. Maybe play some guys in the slot. I'm sure they will, but I don't think you have to. I think last year was kind of different because Javonte Payton. I guess it wasn't. You had some burners on the outside. Javonte was, fast as all get out, and so I'd like to see because Jalen Hyatt isn't going to get one-on-one coverage probably in the slot. Like he's going to have somebody over top more than likely. But if you put him on the outside, you get a chance of man-to-man coverage, and I think he burns that corner every single time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, more often than not, he will. I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Tamarion McDonald becomes the biggest playmaker in the secondary.
Okay. That is what'd you call it? Bold predictions? What'd you say?
Yeah.
Hot takes?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a bold prediction.
I
hope we just have a guy in the secondary that kind of becomes that.
Yeah. I think it's
Okay.
I think it's gonna more times than not with this staff, I think it's gonna be the star guy, and Tamarion McDonald's gonna be the star this year.
All right.
Jabari Small stays healthy, goes over 1,000.
Jonathan will be proud of that one. He already called that. I don't know if I told you.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Byron Young has more sacks than Will Anderson.
I won't. The other ones I'm kind of with. I'm not taking that one. I'm not willing to take that one.
It's close, but he gets more sacks.
Is Alabama's schedule that hard? They get Texas and Utah State. They're scheduled that hard?
I don't know. Maybe. That's bold. That's probably my boldest one. But if he doesn't, it's close.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, I just don't think that it happens. I don't have anything else to say. No.
Do you have kind of any bold ones?
No, maybe I'll think on them for Thursday. I don't think I have anything bold off the top of my head.
I shouldn't have said the Byron Young. I just jinxed that. How about he's the second best pass rusher in the SEC? Is that fair?
That's still bold, but it's not quite as bold.
Yeah.
Quite as bold.
Maybe I'll change that one.
Okay. I
think Tyler Barron gets sacks too. So
yeah, well, was Hendon Hooker the third team All SEC?
I think he was second.
He was second. What the? So we have SEC coaches voting on him second team All SEC, and he's not even top 20, top 10, top 15 quarterbacks in the country. Pro Football Focus, you all are the worst publication in existence.
It's awful.
Absolutely terrible. And I think ESPN had him out of the top 22. Absolutely absurd. Absolutely.
Let's get to
we got college football this weekend. Yeah. What a weekend.
Back.
I didn't win much money. I overbet. It's what you do when you sit on your couch and bored all day.
Dude, I messed up a little bit too. I faded myself and I shouldn't have, or I hedged myself and shouldn't have done it on Nebraska. Because out of the gate, I'm like, good God. No, like they're gonna kill Northwestern.
You took Nebraska to cover?
So like I had Northwestern to cover.
And then you hedged Nebraska.
Yeah.
Nebraska. What was it at when you hedged it?
It was at like 14.5.
Oh, yeah. Come on, you know Scott Frost. Like, come on.
I know,
hang
but
in
I was
there.
just like, dude, this Northwestern team is terrible.
Their defense looked awful. I was pretty impressed with Helinski pretty much the entire game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they didn't. I mean, neither team. I'll take it back. I shouldn't say neither team. Nebraska's Casey Thompson looked really good. Everything else was so-so. Looked really good in like the first quarter, especially first half, I'd even say. The Northwestern's offense was efficient in the first half, especially.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty.
It wasn't great, but like they moved the ball. Defenses were two of the worst defenses I've ever seen.
Yeah, the one where Helinski hit that wide receiver and he just butt naked in the end zone. I'm like, how does this?
It was
happen?
a bomb too.
Like
He had to throw it a long ways.
I was more shocked that Nebraska didn't run the ball well. Like I feel like their line should always be good.
Talking about corn?
Yeah,
It's got the juice.
dude, that's the song of the year.
Yeah, and coincidentally, Nebraska is not the team of the year.
What was it? Brett McMurphy said the one guy who didn't put them in the top 25.
He's like, I'm an idiot. The one guy. I'm like Brett. Yeah, like you can't victory lap it right now, brother. Like, have some patience.
It I mean, it was more that Northwestern was bad than like Nebraska was just fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and they still lost, and it was just an all-around stupid tweet. And then I love that he kind of like at the end, I'm sure he'd be like, I mean, I was joking. And I'm like, yeah, but would you have joked if Nebraska had beaten Northwestern? Or would you have been like, no, I am, the greatest picker of all time in the AP poll. So, I mean, I'm glad you can sound like you laugh at yourself, Brett McMurphy, but you're a moron. You're a moron.
Yeah. Scott Frost, I don't know how they let him on the plane in Dublin to come back.
Yeah, I got into it wasn't a Nebraska Twitter space. It was just a random one. I can't remember who it was talking about college football. And I think I called and asked you this too. When was the right time? When is the right time to fire him, now or 8 months ago? Because the fact that he's still their head coach is
now are you
absurd.
Kind of tied to him?
See, that's the problem. It's weird. It's like, do I rot him out until October at this point? Because we talked about this with Butch Jones. It's like I want to say get rid of him now. Like I think it was after the Georgia game in 1st of October, and it's like I want to say get rid of him now, but who takes over? And I think that's Nebraska's question. Like it's all caps. Like how does it get better? It's weird. I don't know and I don't know enough about Nebraska's program, but there was a lot of uncertainty when you were ready to get rid of Butch Jones because that staff was not just fantastically put together.
I saw a tweet today, and I don't remember the record, but Bo Pelini was fired at Nebraska.
I got it.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry if I ruined.
No. Chad sent us in the group message. I know exactly where it's at. Scott Frost is now 15-30 at Nebraska. Bo Pelini was fired after going 67-27. If Frost wins his next 50 games in a row, he would still have a worse record at Nebraska, 65-30, than Bo did.
That's incredible.
Absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I mean, is it just because he has ties? Like, I don't understand what the factuation. He was good at UCF.
Well, he bet on it. It was essentially him betting on himself. Didn't the AD kind of come out and say he lowered his buyout? He's betting on himself, so we're going to let him do it because he did that. It was pretty much, in so many words, said that.
Well, being up 11 in the third quarter and onside kicking it is and it's not like it's not like it was like to Tennessee where like, their offense is that good. They're probably going to go down and score anyway. It was Northwestern. They yes, they were efficient, but also you want to make it an offense like that have to go the length of the field.
Right. I think me and you talked about that when we talked yesterday. It's like, would they have scored anyway? Probably. Would I rather them go 80 yards than 40? Yeah, for sure.
And if nothing else, it kills some clock a little bit when you're up 11 points.
11.
I mean, you're not
insane.
trying to play, not to lose, but like let's be a little bit smarter than a kicker just kicking it right to somebody. I mean, like
absolute insanity.
What did the chart say is what I want to know.
Yeah, well, Landon, I don't know how much football you played.
Yeah.
Or how much you know about football. Absolutely, just the most egregious coaching decision, and it won me a bet, so I don't care.
Yeah,
because you probably win that hedge if they either don't do that or do it successfully. So,
well, I was sitting on the porch and I said, "Holy shit!" And she said, "What? What happened?" She thought like the dog did something. I was like, "Scott Frost just freaking did an onside kick up 11." She was like, "Who?" I was like, "Don't worry about it." But
I'm gonna try not to smack this gum. I have a terrible taste in my mouth from dinner, so yeah, I get bothering the crap out of me. If I start smacking, just tell me, huh?
Is it garlic? Like, what'd you eat?
No, I had some tacos, and I don't know what it is. I just don't enjoy it. Yeah, so
It's fine.
Do my best not to smack, but this is
also we should have never bet against a guy with the last name Fitzgerald in Dublin. That was
yeah, I like that.
That's all time. He was definitely going to win that game. We should have sprinkled money on money line.
I wasn't bold enough to do that because Nebraska should have won. Still should have won.
Yeah, they're close games. Good God.
Is it 9 in a
I
row
would
now?
be full gray.
Yeah. Is it 9 in a row? Less than one or single digit losses?
Yeah, I think so.
Absurd.
I think somebody tweeted they're 1-10, I guess, in their last like couple games, and the point difference is like -2.
Yikes.
Because that one win, they just blew somebody out, but
Right.
still, it's insane.
Yikes. I mean, really, dude, I'm gonna be honest. I watched so Illinois, watch that game. Illinois and Wyoming. I watched Western Kentucky and Austin Peay. Very boring game. I really just wanted to tweet about how much Tyson Helton sucked if he lost to an FCS team with his son as a quarterback. So that's why I watched that game.
Oh, is his son the quarterback?
Yes. They
I didn't
talked
know
about it.
that.
Maybe he wasn't the starter. I thought he was. Maybe it was Clay Helton's son. Maybe. It was a Helton.
Circling back to Tennessee, Brian Maurer and Harrison Bailey did not win the starting job at their schools.
And yeah, yes, I'll leave it at that. I did watch some of that UNLV Idaho State game. UConn and Utah State, dude. I thought UConn was going to win. I almost, not before the game, during the game, I almost bet on them to cover. It was like 30-something points, almost 40. And then I actually ended up taking the under, and that barely hit. I think about 2 points.
Really?
5 points. Yeah, barely hit. So I watched the end of that game. FAU and Charlotte, very disappointed in you, Will Healy. Very disappointed in you. Had you, bet on you, I regret it. North Carolina. Did you watch any of that game? Florida Atlantic.
Their defense sucks.
I got excited. I was like, can we see an upset here to North? That would be hilarious.
Drake May is good. They landed another really good quarterback, but yeah, their defense is, they didn't get any better.
No.
They might have got worse.
Yeah, I mean, it was not a pretty game. Florida A&M is not good.
No.
Apparently they I didn't know this. Apparently that game, because I bet on the spread because it was like 43 points. And we had some people over playing cards last night, and apparently they almost didn't play the game because they didn't have any offensive linemen. Like they only had like 5 or something like that.
Good Lord.
Yeah, so pretty impressive to do that with a low roster there at FAMU. So Nevada, New Mexico State, good call. And I think that was you that told me to take Nevada to cover. Got a little money there. I took UTEP to beat North Texas.
North Texas win?
Oh, destroyed them 31-13.
North Texas has a quarterback, Austin anyway, he graduated high school in 2012. So he's a year older than us and won the starting job.
How?
He tried pro baseball and then gave it up. And
I don't get that. How is that allowed? Can you go play pro basketball and come back? Like, could you go to the NBA and then come back? Or the G League?
I don't know. I don't know how it works.
Also,
like Brandon Whedon, I know this is
he's
different.
29 years old.
Brandon Whedon was like 30.
27. I think it's 27.
Okay.
I'll look it up. I think
But he was
27.
in the military, right?
No, I thought he was.
Oh, did he try pro baseball too?
I thought he tried pro baseball. I don't know. Matt Sims tried pro baseball. UT.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And listen, I'm not saying Brandon Whedon was a great quarterback or anything, but Matt Sims was no Brandon Whedon.
He was not.
So he's 38 now. Played at Oklahoma State in 2007. So 20, I think he was 27 when he had his big year.
Okay, yeah, it was, he tried pro baseball. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand how that works.
I don't know. You just like if you go back to football, like your prime is like over. I mean, he's 38 right now. Brandon Whedon is.
Right. So I think the average NFL career is like 3 or 4 years. So you're older than the average NFL player.
Yeah.
And you're still playing college football. You just started college football. I'm going to have to look at this North Texas quarterback because that's insane.
I think it's
Do you have any-
Austin
Austin
Ayun.
Oon? Austin Oon is how I would have said it.
Yeah, something like that. I don't really have anything for college football. It was nice to just get it back on TV. Nice to bet a little bit. Game day was fun. Lee Corso, God, that's just sad. I don't know why they keep showing that.
No, dude, keep Corso there forever. He's like your granddad. You're like so excited to see
Is
when
he
you
in
go
the
over there.
deal where like he can't retire until Nick Saban retires?
I hope he's there long after Nick Saban. I like Lee Corso way better than I like Nick Saban. Do you not feel just like a sense of so Lee Corso is crazy, but he doesn't suck. Desmond Howard, I don't hate Desmond Howard. The most absurd college ball playoff picks of all time. Stupid, borderline stupid.
Yeah.
Lee Corso doesn't have that kind of.
He
takes.
did say an SEC team is not going to win the SEC.
Lee Corso said that.
Yeah.
That's because he has dementia. What's Desmond Howard's excuse?
He's got it too. I don't know.
No, Lee Corso is a national treasure.
Oh, agreed.
Not-
Just don't have him speak. Have him just like
You don't get the moments if you don't get him speak. You
have
don't
him
get
pick a head. Have him pick a head for every pick he does.
You don't get a
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
You don't get those moments if you don't let him speak. So yeah, you gotta let him.
God, it's rough. Like I just feel bad for him. Like I just cringe.
No, I do feel bad for him, but it looks like he's genuinely having the time of his life because especially since he's been able to be at home lately.
That's what he wants to do. Hey, by all means.
And him and Kirk Herbstreit, they just seem like the greatest friendship of all time.
Oh yeah.
Like if Kirk ever left, yeah, Lee's got to go to.
And that's his grandpa, 100%.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that. Like he tries to maybe finish what he was saying.
all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. He's like, that didn't make sense. Let me try to make that make sense.
Right. Ugh. Also, why are we still remote?
I think that was just for game one.
Okay. I was just
Yeah.
week 0 thing. Okay.
I don't think it's going to be that in Columbus.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll
that's
see.
just not as cool.
But I mean, they had one.
Being a part of the atmosphere makes it fun.
Yeah, for sure. Don't hold me to that. I mean, they weren't remote last year, were they?
I don't think so.
Yeah, so I think that was just a week 1 thing.
Okay.
Also, Austin Oon, however you say his name, he spent spring of 2018 at Arkansas. Before that, he spent 6 seasons in the New York Yankees organization.
Dang.
Good night.
All right. Well, get the segments.
Segments. I'm going to pick out some. All right, let's see. Most important. Oh, got a few. I'll do one. One. So, how many do you have?
I have one. I have 2.
You have 2?
Yep.
Let
me go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. That's it.
So Utah State, there is a they're the favorite to win the national championship. Not really, but there is a guy, or I guess 2 guys, that came up with the idea. They wanted to bet on them to win like over 7.5 games.
Yeah,
because they looked at their schedule and they're like, "Oh yeah, they're definitely going to do this. Let's hammer it." And they were apparently one guy like we used to be a trader. One guy like owns a restaurant or something. And they one guy was getting over a hangover. He's like, "Let's hammer them." They hammered them to win the national championship.
They went from over 7.5 wins to national championship.
Yeah, let's just pick them to win the national championship. Let's hammer it.
If they beat Alabama, you got to cash out.
Yeah, it's 1,000 to 1, and they put $1,000 on it, so they'll win $1 million.
That's not that 1,000 to 1. That's it.
Yeah, there's only one team that's ever done that.
Yeah, but I think so Leicester City, when they won the Premier League, I think they were 10,000 to 1.
Really? So yeah, it's only happened one time. I think it was Stanford beat USC in 2007 or something
to win the Natty. Wait, what?
That's the only 1,000 to 1 odds. There's only one team that's won a game where they're 1,000 to 1. They expect them to win the national championship though. 1,000 to 1.
Yeah, that's stupid. Leicester City was 5,000 to 1 to win the EPL. I would say Leicester City had a better chance to win the EPL than Utah State does to win a national championship. First off, Leicester City's in the game. Utah State could go undefeated and they wouldn't make it in the playoff.
Right. Well, it said on the thing, more than likely it's going to be $1,000 donation to FanDuel. So,
yes, absolutely correct. Did you see the Chiefs players that had to do that press conference and they had to get they had to get specific words in?
Mm-mm.
I'll just send it to you. It's pretty funny. Kudos to them for keeping a straight face. It was good. This stinks. I don't want to be. I feel negative, but I think all mine are fails. So I'm sorry.
There was a lot. College football brings out a lot of fails.
That's 100% true.
I have one more most important.
Yeah, do that, and then we'll get to
Lipscomb Academy taking it to Thompson, the 7A defending state championship in the state of Alabama, and beat them on ESPN.
Yeah, and did you see the highlight video?
Yeah, I saw Caleb Beasley have the 99-yard scoop and score.
Did you hear the song?
The song
to the highlight video. Sweet Home Alabama.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, very good little troll job there. I just wish it had been Dixieland Delight to, really stick it to them. But great song choice.
Yeah. So they've beaten a team they beat Milton out of Milton, Georgia. They're a pretty good program. Then they beat the Thompson. It's one of the best. They're a top 25 team in the country.
Did you see where Miami Central beat IMG?
Yep.
How good are they?
They're always really good. They're not IMG, but
Yeah,
they're
that's a
always
different level of good.
good. Yeah,
If you play with IMG, I'm impressed.
100%.
I do have. I'm glad you mentioned that high school football. Did you see Deshaun Bishop's play? They got called back,
did.
but did you see it?
You got
That's
called
insane.
back?
They got the quarterback for kicking the ball intentionally.
Oh my God! Do you think he actually did it intentionally?
It looks very intentional,
Okay.
but I mean,
I
yeah,
know, like you're a soccer player, so I mean that.
yeah. It looks very intentional. I would be.
But he is falling.
No, he's laying on the
So-
ground. He's laying on the ground when he kicks it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, he's already laying down. He kind of like sits up halfway and then just flicks his right foot. It looks intentional. You know, I mean, that's the thing though. It's like it may
It's
not
kind
have
of a
been.
reaction, yeah.
It may not have been intentional. I don't know. It was still an insane play. That's like someone commented and said it got called back, and I'm like, who cares? I'm not watching it to see how many points he scored. That play's awesome.
Right. Yeah. 100%. Yeah, the fact that like he took it to the house and everybody thought it was a live ball.
Yeah,
Like, it's not like anybody stopped.
Well, and hey, heads up to the quarterback regardless because it's not a turnover. It's still Karn's ball with a 10-yard penalty and I think a loss of downs, an illegal kick.
Okay,
So if it was fourth down, turnover on downs, but
if you're a
it's not.
fumble, if it's a fumble, you don't think you can get to it, you just kick it.
Yeah, I think a batted ball, same thing. An intentionally batted ball, like out of bounds, I don't think it's a turnover. I think it's whoever had possession,
Okay,
I believe.
interesting.
Yeah.
All right,
Definitely
so Phil,
Excuse me.
you want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Michigan. Jim Harbaugh not doing himself any favors by having a starting two different quarterbacks start a game the first two games of the season.
Say that
So
again?
Cade McNamara will start the first game. The second game goes to J.J. McCarthy.
They've already done that? Like they've said that's what we're doing?
Yep.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. So when do they fire Jim Harbaugh? Now?
God, I don't know. Was that?
I've already forgotten that he made it to the playoff because he did something so dumb.
Yeah, that's the thing. How long does that playoff run just keep his job?
What a moron. Moron. That's legitimately the dumbest. That is truly the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I can't. That is absurd. I can't believe that's real. My first fail is, did you see, I'm sure you saw the blooper reel of him stiff arm, the actual blooper, not the blooper reel of him stiff arming the kids in a mascot game.
Oh yeah, it was awesome.
Did you see where the Ravens mascot got injured? I don't know if it was in the same game, but the Ravens mascot got carted off.
Oh, is that from that game?
It was a mascot game. I just don't know if it was that one. I'm assuming.
Oh,
it
that's
was.
awesome. I just thought he like got injured on the sideline or something. That makes it even better.
Dude, did you watch the video of them getting him into the car? If you haven't, go watch it. It has to be fake. They were just like throwing him up there, his legs dragging on the ground. I'm like, yeah, well, maybe he's hurt. He's really hurt now.
Yeah, he's
But
definitely.
that was awful. It was a great watch though, but absurd.
My next fail is the competition that Arch Manning's playing. I know it's not his fault, but the fact that like he's all over, On3 and all these big time sites are like, oh my God, look at Arch Manning. I mean, we saw the safety in the video. I could have scored that touchdown.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely not top notch. But hey, it's the same competition Peyton and Eli played. It's actually probably better. I feel like, private schools have gotten better in the last 30 years, right? Would you say?
You'd think. I don't know.
Of course, that's one. I just know of East Tennessee, but
Yeah. I mean, I'm not knocking the kid. I think he is, a special talent, but can we stop posting everything he does against these, kids who have no business probably playing football?
Yeah, it's pretty.
It's not fair to them. This is
Doc.
bullying. That's how we're gonna pitch it. It's bullying to these other kids.
Fair. So I've got another fail.
There is a great before we get into that. There is a great reply to the On3 tweet of him doing that, and it's Logan L. He says, "I'm in a wheelchair and I could have done better."
God.
And I looked it up. He is actually in a wheelchair. So I'm just thinking of Hooper from Bad News Bears.
No comment. I mean, no comment.
When he tells that Lupus kid, he's like, "Dude, I could have made that play, and I'm in an effing wheelchair."
All right. So I've got Brian Harsons as my next fail in Auburn. Apparently, there's a sign when you walk into the Auburn locker room, and this is kind of like twofold. Worse. Twofold. In big orange letters, it says, "Are you really hard?" Question mark. Are you really hard? Question mark. So that's weird to ask just right off the bat. I mean, could you not at least ask me how my day was before you know?
Right, especially after, he was rumored, having sex with a girl.
Look.
Yeah.
And then the next part of it, so I guess hard is an acronym, but the next part of it doesn't make sense. It first says, if you are a winner, you are H, hungry to get better, A, accountable to your team, R, relentless in your pursuit of excellence, and D, determined to do whatever it takes to win. And then it says, if you are a loser, you are also this hard. It's another acronym of hard. Harmful in your attitude, always looking for the easy way out, relieved when you're not called for a drill, D, determined to just get by. So if I answer yes, I am really hard, am I a loser or am I a winner? Because that's not totally clear.
Yeah, the correct question would be like, how hard are you?
Yes, that is the right question. But then also, I don't understand it. Like, why? If you're a winner,
think Champions of Life sounds pretty good right now.
If you're a winner, you are hard. But if you're a loser, you are hard. So if you're hard, are you a winner or a loser? I'm just very confused on what being hard means.
Yeah.
Also, lawsuit waiting to happen if you ask now one more time.
Yeah.
So that is sexual harassment.
Harson, you look guilty. God, man. Did you see my next fail? Did you see the guy at the Yankees game make a hot dog into a straw?
Listen, it looks disgusting to me, but hot dogs are the backbone of this country. Beer is the secondary backbone of this country. I could see how it works.
But he like uses like I think it's a straw.
It is a shit up there. I'm pretty sure it's a straw too. I'm like, so if you we got to do a hot dog.
How hard is that guy?
We got to do a hot dog straw bet this year. We got to find something that if you lose hot dog, you got to finish a beer with a hot dog straw. If I lose, I got to finish a beer with a hot dog straw. Okay. We have to.
We pick one person to do it every game. It's not even a cooked hot dog.
That's disgusting.
Yeah. No, we pick like somebody at the tailgate.
Oh, just anybody that got to us?
Yeah, it's just usually the person who like doesn't speak or anything. The person who doesn't want to be there, we make them do it.
We just ask if they're hard, and if they say yes, they still have to do it. If they say no, they have to do it. Kind of like winner or loser. Are you really hard? And no matter what their answer is, they get a hot dog beer straw.
People that are just now like getting into this show are just like, what is going on?
We're getting creeping. Yeah, we're creeping into more important issues after dark. So you get it.
I think that's all I got. There is a fail. I don't love like. I get what the Smokies are trying to do, but having kids throw mustard bottles at a skeleton with Lane Kiffin's face on it.
Can we just stop?
Yeah. It's just like it's so cringe.
Rogers, he doesn't need more fuel to be a douchebag. Leave
Yeah,
him alone.
like people dressing up as mustard bottles, like that stuff's funny. But
Yeah, that really has nothing to do with Lane Kiffin.
yeah, including Lane Kiffin into. I'm like, that's exactly what he wants.
Yeah. Just
So
he has enough fuel to be a douchebag. Stop
I
adding
love
to
the
it.
Smokies, but
Yeah.
maybe do a little better.
I cheered for the Trash Pandas the other night, so
Oh yeah, Ben Joyce. The
I-
Smokies just refused to. They might get Liam Spence. I was about to say I don't think there's any in the Cubs organization, but there is.
I did have most important. I don't know if you saw this. It was on a Bussin' with the Boys episode. Who's the dude that looks like he should be in Game of Thrones? Offensive lineman. He looks like a Dothraki. What's his name?
David Bakhtiari.
Yeah. Does he not? Am I wrong? Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah. 100%.
Like his eyes even look.
I didn't know what you were talking about until you said that, and then it clicked to what you're meaning. So yeah.
Did you see on Bussin' with the Boys where he said what Brett Favre did to Aaron Rodgers?
Uh-uh.
So apparently it's like the prank's been pulled off before, but Brett Favre did to Aaron Rodgers, where I guess it's a thing. They probably have to do it for different things all the time, like sign memorabilia. And so they'll leave stuff on tables apparently in NFL locker rooms, and you just kind of walk by and everybody signs it. One day Brett Favre put Aaron Rodgers' helmet on one of those tables, and everybody signed it, so he had to wear it out to practice one day. Like,
Yeah,
just
he'd
did
be
all-
the guy that'd be so pissed about it too.
He that's one that he's like, fine him. Like, no, he's not getting away with this. Yeah, that's a good harmless. That's a fun prank. Not like that one in Texas. That was a weird prank.
Wait, which one?
Those high schoolers. Have you read about that?
Yeah.
Hey, if you're into dudes, just be into dudes. Don't do weird stuff.
Yeah. Come on.
Like, come on.
Don't be a Brian Harson.
Are you really hard?
I'm about to be when I watch this new episode of Game of
Oh
Thrones.
God.
That's all I got.
That's it for me, guys. It's game week. We'll be back Wednesday night.
Wednesday night.
We got a game Thursday, guys.
Yeah, got things to do. People to see. Tailgates to run. Guys, thanks so much for listening, and thanks for everybody who contributed in that giveaway. We hope to do more of those throughout the season, so stay tuned. And y'all have a good rest of your week. We're bringing the boat in, and we out.